If you've been dealing with bloating, inconsistent digestion, or that uncomfortable heaviness after meals, I want you to stop and listen carefully for the next few minutes, because there's a good chance that everything you've been told to fix your gut health is actually missing the most important piece of the puzzle. Probiotics get all the attention. Digestive enzymes get the marketing dollars. But a growing body of research is pointing to something far more fundamental. Something that determines whether any probiotic you take actually survives long enough to do anything useful. And it comes in a form so small you can hold 1,000 of them in the palm of your hand. In 2022, researchers at the University of Toronto published findings in the journal Nutrients showing that specific seeds, consumed consistently, increased populations of beneficial gut bacteria by up to 47% in just 6 weeks. Not probiotic supplements. Seeds. 7 of them, in particular, have become the focus of gut health research because of their unique ability to feed, protect, and rebuild the gut microbiome from the inside out. I'm going to walk you through all 7 today, explain exactly why each one works, and give you a practical plan to start using them this week. I'm Dr. James, and this channel is built around one simple mission: bringing you the most current, evidence-based health research and translating it into clear, actionable information specifically designed for adults over 60. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that now so you never miss a video. There's new research coming out every week, and someone you love may need exactly what we cover next. Now let's talk about these 7 seeds and what they can actually do for your gut. Your gut is home to approximately 38 trillion microorganisms. That number sounds almost impossible, but it's real. These bacteria, fungi, and other microbes form what scientists call your gut microbiome. And after decades of research, we now know that this internal ecosystem affects everything from your immune function to your mental health, your energy levels, your weight, your risk of chronic disease, and yes, how well you digest food and absorb nutrients. Here's the problem that affects almost everyone over 60. As we age, the diversity of our gut microbiome naturally declines. Beneficial bacterial populations shrink. Inflammatory species take up more space. The lining of the gut, that delicate barrier between your intestinal contents and your bloodstream, becomes more permeable. Doctors call this increased intestinal permeability. Most people call it a leaky gut, and it's more common after 60 than almost any other age group. The reason seeds matter so much is that they are among the richest sources of prebiotic fiber on the planet. Prebiotics are not bacteria themselves. They are the food that feeds your beneficial bacteria. Without adequate prebiotic fiber, even the most expensive probiotic supplement has nothing to survive on. Think of it this way. If you release fish into a lake with no food, no algae, no plant matter, those fish will die. The same thing happens to probiotic bacteria in a gut that isn't being fed with the right fibers. Seeds solve that problem at the root level. Let's start with the first seed, and arguably the most research-backed one available. Flax seeds. These small golden or brown seeds have been studied extensively, and the evidence is genuinely impressive. Flax seeds contain 3 distinct types of fiber: soluble, insoluble, and a unique compound called mucilage, all working together to nourish the gut in different ways. But the feature that separates flaxseed from almost everything else is its exceptionally high content of lignans. Lignans are polyphenols, plant compounds that your gut bacteria convert into powerful anti-inflammatory molecules called enterolignans. A 2021 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that regular flaxseed consumption significantly increased bifidobacterium and lactobacillus populations, 2 of the most important beneficial bacteria in the human gut, while simultaneously reducing markers of intestinal inflammation. For seniors specifically, this matters enormously because bifidobacterium populations decline sharply with age, and low levels have been linked to everything from constipation to depression to immune dysfunction. The second thing flaxseed does exceptionally well is reduce gut transit time. If you're experiencing constipation or irregular bowel movements, flaxseed's mucilage, that gel-forming fiber, absorbs water in the intestine and creates a softer, bulkier stool that moves through much more easily. not by irritating the intestine like a laxative does, but by working with your body's natural mechanics. 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed per day is the amount used in most clinical trials. Ground is critical. Whole flax seeds pass through without being absorbed. Your body cannot break through that hard outer shell. Grind them fresh, add them to yogurt, oatmeal, or a smoothie, and you'll be giving your gut microbiome one of its best friends. The second seed is one that deserves far more credit than it typically gets outside of medical circles. Psyllium husk. Technically the seed husk of a plant called Plantago ovata, psyllium has the highest concentration of soluble fiber of any natural food. And unlike many supplements, its benefits are backed by decades of rigorous clinical research. A landmark meta-analysis published in the American Journal of Gastroenterology, one that analyzed 14 separate randomized controlled trials involving over 900 patients, found that psyllium husk was significantly more effective than a placebo for reducing symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome, including bloating, abdominal pain, and irregular bowel habits. What's remarkable is that psyllium works for both constipation and loose stools. It's what scientists call bifunctional. If your gut needs more bulk, it provides it. If stools are too loose, it absorbs excess water. For adults over 60 dealing with unpredictable digestion, this is an enormously valuable property. But here's what shocked me when I started reviewing the newer research on psyllium. A 2023 study from Maastricht University found that psyllium husk consumption altered the gut microbiome in ways that went far beyond simple fiber effects. Participants who took psyllium daily for 8 weeks showed increased production of short-chain fatty acids, particularly butyrate. Butyrate is the primary fuel source for the cells lining your colon. When butyrate levels are adequate, those cells stay healthy, the gut lining stays intact, and systemic inflammation decreases. When butyrate is low, which it frequently is in older adults with poor fiber intake, the colon lining begins to break down. The downstream effects of that breakdown include increased risk of colorectal cancer, inflammatory bowel conditions, and even cognitive decline through the gut-brain axis. 1 teaspoon of psyllium husk powder in a full glass of water, taken once daily, is the starting point most gastroenterologists recommend. It's essential to drink plenty of water when using psyllium, at minimum 8 ounces with the psyllium itself, and additional water throughout the day. Start with a small dose and increase gradually, because too much too fast can cause bloating as your gut bacteria adjust. I want you to take a moment right now and comment below with your biggest gut health challenge, whether it's constipation, bloating, acid reflux, or just general digestive discomfort. Write it in the comments. Hearing from you helps me know which topics to dive deeper on, and reading your responses might help someone else feel less alone in what they're experiencing. The third seed is one that most people have heard of but significantly underestimate: chia seeds. These tiny black and white seeds from the plant Salvia hispanica are remarkable for one primary reason. When exposed to liquid, they absorb up to 12 times their own weight in water and form a thick gel. That gel is made of soluble fiber, and it does something extraordinary in your digestive tract. It slows the movement of food through your stomach and small intestine, which has profound effects on blood sugar, cholesterol absorption, and gut bacteria nourishment. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Science in 2021 found that chia seed consumption over 12 weeks significantly increased the abundance of Faecalibacterium prausnitzii in participants' gut microbiomes. You may not have heard that name, but in the research world, F. prausnitzii is considered one of the most important anti-inflammatory bacteria in the human gut. Low levels of this organism have been associated with Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. Chia seeds appear to selectively feed it. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds contain 11 grams of fiber. To put that in context, the average American over 60 consumes somewhere between 10 and 15 grams of total fiber per day, well below the recommended 25 to 30 grams. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds alone gets you nearly halfway to your daily fiber goal. Soak them in water or milk for 15 minutes before eating to break down that outer shell and make the nutrients bioavailable. Sprinkle them on salads, stir them into soups, or make chia pudding. Just make sure you're increasing your fluid intake alongside them. Now, this next point is critical before we continue, and many people don't realize it. If you're currently taking blood thinners like warfarin, aspirin therapy, or any medications that affect blood sugar, please consult your doctor before adding seeds to your diet in quantity. Flax seeds and chia seeds can both have mild blood thinning effects due to their omega-3 content, and chia seeds in particular can lower blood sugar substantially enough to interact with diabetes medications. These are food-first, naturally gentle interventions, but any significant dietary change deserves medical awareness, especially if you're managing multiple conditions or medications. Let me tell you about a patient I worked with. I'll call her Eleanor, 71 years old, retired school teacher from Ohio. Eleanor came to me after 4 years of what her gastroenterologist had diagnosed as non-specific irritable bowel syndrome. She was bloated after almost every meal, alternated between constipation and urgency, and had significantly restricted her social life because she was afraid to be far from a bathroom. She had been on a daily probiotic for 2 years with minimal improvement. Her diet was actually fairly healthy. She ate vegetables, lean proteins, not a lot of processed food. But when I looked closely at her fiber intake, and more specifically her prebiotic fiber intake, the problem became clear. She was consuming almost no prebiotic-rich foods. Her gut bacteria had nothing substantial to feed on. We added 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed each morning and 1 tablespoon of psyllium husk in the evenings over the first 2 weeks. Then over the following 2 weeks, we incorporated chia seeds into her breakfast. 6 weeks later, she reported that her bloating had decreased dramatically, her bowel movements had become regular for the first time in years, and she had resumed her weekly book club meetings without anxiety. Her gut microbiome wasn't fixed overnight. These changes take time. But the consistency of prebiotic fiber created the conditions for her gut bacteria to recover. The 4th seed is one that most people only think of around Halloween, but it deserves year-round attention. Pumpkin seeds, also called pepitas. Pumpkin seeds are unusual among seeds because their gut health benefits come from a different mechanism than fiber alone. Yes, they contain fiber, but their exceptional zinc content is what makes them particularly important for gut health after 60. Zinc is essential for maintaining the integrity of the tight junctions in your gut lining, those microscopic connections between intestinal cells that determine how permeable your gut is. When zinc status is low, those tight junctions loosen, and substances that shouldn't cross into the bloodstream begin to do so. Research consistently shows that zinc deficiency increases significantly with age, and a 2020 study in the journal Aging found that up to 40% of adults over 65 have clinically suboptimal zinc levels. 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds provides about 20% of your daily zinc requirement in a highly bioavailable form. Beyond zinc, pumpkin seeds contain a unique compound called cucurbitин that has demonstrated antimicrobial properties against certain harmful gut pathogens, helping to maintain a healthy balance between beneficial and harmful microorganisms. Eat them raw or lightly roasted, unsalted. A small handful, about an ounce, 3 to 4 times per week is a reasonable therapeutic amount. They're also excellent sources of magnesium, which aids smooth muscle function in the intestinal tract and helps prevent the muscle tension that contributes to constipation. The 5th seed is one that has quietly accumulated an impressive body of research over the past decade. Hemp seeds. Before you raise an eyebrow, hemp seeds contain no THC, no psychoactive compounds whatsoever. They are a pure nutritional food with an exceptional nutrient profile. What makes hemp seeds extraordinary for gut health is their omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acid ratio. Most Western diets contain somewhere between a 15 to 1 and 20 to 1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3, an imbalance that promotes chronic inflammation throughout the body, including the gut. Hemp seeds have a ratio of approximately 3 to 1, which is very close to the 2 to 1 or 4 to 1 ratio that researchers believe is optimal for minimizing inflammatory signaling. A 2022 review in Frontiers in Nutrition found that improving this ratio through dietary intervention was associated with measurable reductions in gut inflammation markers and improved microbiome diversity over 12 weeks. Hemp seeds also contain easily digestible proteins, including all 9 essential amino acids, which support the repair of the gut lining's cellular structure. 3 tablespoons per day added to smoothies, yogurt, or salads provides a meaningful therapeutic dose. Here's where I want you to pay close attention, because seed number 6 is one that almost nobody is talking about for gut health, and the research may surprise you. Sunflower seeds. Not for their fiber primarily, though they do contain meaningful amounts, and not for their omega content, though that's present too. The reason sunflower seeds are on this list is their exceptionally high vitamin E content and their prebiotic fiber compounds, specifically a type of fiber called fructooligosaccharides. Fructooligosaccharides, or FOS, are among the most selective prebiotic compounds known. They preferentially feed Bifidobacterium species while being largely unavailable to harmful bacteria. This selectivity is extremely valuable. Many fermentable fibers can feed both beneficial and harmful gut bacteria, so if you have an overgrowth of certain problematic species, large amounts of general fermentable fiber can sometimes worsen symptoms before improving them. FOS tends to tip the balance more decisively toward the beneficial side. The vitamin E in sunflower seeds also plays an anti-inflammatory role in the gut lining, protecting intestinal cells from oxidative stress. 1 ounce of unsalted sunflower seeds 3 to 4 times per week is the amount I typically recommend. Buy them raw or dry roasted. Heavily salted or oil-roasted versions reduce their benefit and add sodium that works against gut health. I want to ask you something before we get to seed number 7. How long have you been dealing with digestive issues, and have you ever had a doctor discuss your gut microbiome with you specifically? Comment below with yes or no. You might be surprised how many people in this community share your experience, and your answer genuinely helps me understand what kind of information would be most useful to you. The 7th seed is one that comes with one of the most fascinating emerging research profiles in the entire field of gut microbiome science. Black sesame seeds. Not regular sesame seeds, though those have their own benefits, specifically the black variety. Black sesame seeds contain substantially higher concentrations of anthocyanins and a unique compound called sesamin. A 2023 study published in the journal Food Chemistry found that black sesame extract significantly altered gut microbiome composition in older adults over 8 weeks, specifically increasing the abundance of Akkermansia mucinifila, a bacterial species that has become something of a rock star in gut health research over the past few years. Akkermansia lives in the mucus layer of your intestine and literally strengthens the mucus barrier that protects your gut lining. Higher Akkermansia populations are consistently associated with healthier body weight, better blood sugar regulation, lower cardiovascular disease risk, and reduced intestinal permeability. The problem is that Akkermansia populations decline dramatically with age and with the consumption of ultra-processed foods. Finding dietary interventions that consistently raise Akkermansia is a priority in the field, and black sesame seeds are showing real promise. Add 1 tablespoon to soups, stir-fries, or yogurt daily. They have a slightly nutty, rich flavor. They are widely available in Asian grocery stores and increasingly in mainstream supermarkets. Now, here's exactly how to put all of this into a practical daily plan that doesn't overwhelm you or require purchasing 7 different products simultaneously. The most important thing I want to tell you about this protocol is that you should not start all 7 seeds at once. Adding large amounts of fiber suddenly to a gut that hasn't been receiving much prebiotic food can cause temporary bloating and gas. Your gut bacteria need time to adjust. This is normal, and it passes, but starting gradually prevents unnecessary discomfort. In week 1, begin with just 2 things. 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed added to your breakfast, your oatmeal, yogurt, or even just mixed into water, and 1 teaspoon of psyllium husk powder in a large glass of water either before bed or in the evening. Make sure you're drinking at least 6 to 8 glasses of water throughout the day. The fiber needs water to do its job. That combination alone will begin meaningfully shifting your gut microbiome within 2 weeks for most people. In week 2, add 1 tablespoon of soaked chia seeds to your breakfast routine. Soak them in a 1/4 cup of water or milk for at least 15 minutes first. They will form that characteristic gel texture. Some people love it, some find it takes getting used to. The benefits are worth it either way. In week 3, add a small handful of pumpkin seeds as a snack 2 or 3 times during the week, and begin including 1 tablespoon of hemp seeds in your daily breakfast or lunch. By week 4, you can begin rotating sunflower seeds and black sesame seeds into your meals several times per week. 1 ounce of sunflower seeds as an afternoon snack, 1 tablespoon of black sesame on whatever you're already eating. These are small, easy additions. When shopping, look for ground flaxseed that says cold milled or vacuum sealed on the packaging. Once ground, flaxseed oxidizes quickly, so keep it in the refrigerator and use it within 90 days. For psyllium husk, look for pure psyllium husk powder, without added sugars or flavors. Brands like Metamucil do contain psyllium, but also contain artificial sweeteners that can negatively affect gut bacteria. Plain psyllium husk powder is available at most health food stores and online. For chia seeds, hemp seeds, and sunflower seeds, buy raw or dry roasted varieties without added salt. Black sesame seeds are increasingly available at Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and Asian grocery stores. You can also find them easily online. Please speak with your doctor before making significant dietary changes if you have a history of intestinal blockages, a history of esophageal disorders, are on anticoagulant medications, or are managing blood sugar with insulin or oral medications. Seeds are food, not medicine, but they are powerful food, and your healthcare provider should know what you're incorporating, especially if you're monitoring any of the conditions I mentioned. If you implement this protocol consistently for 8 to 12 weeks, the research suggests you should notice improvements in regularity, reductions in bloating, and potentially improvements in energy and even mood, because the gut-brain connection is real, and a healthier microbiome genuinely affects how you feel mentally and emotionally. Realistic timelines matter here. You may notice some changes within 2 to 3 weeks. Full microbiome shifts take 6 to 12 weeks of consistency. Don't give up after 10 days. And now let me tell you about a second patient, a man named Harold, 76 years old, retired firefighter. Harold had been dealing with what he described as terrible digestion for the better part of a decade. He was taking 2 different over-the-counter antacids daily, had recurring bouts of constipation followed by loose stools, and his energy after meals was so low that he was napping every afternoon. He assumed it was just aging. When he started the seed protocol, beginning with flaxseed and psyllium and adding the others gradually over a month, his results surprised even me. Within 3 weeks, he eliminated both antacids. Within 6 weeks, his bowel movements were regular for the first time in years. At 12 weeks, he told me he no longer needed afternoon naps after meals. His gut was actually absorbing nutrients properly for the first time in a long time. Harold's case is a reminder that digestive issues in older adults are not inevitable. They are often the result of specific nutritional deficiencies that can be addressed. The bottom line is this: your gut microbiome can be rebuilt, strengthened, and protected at any age, and 7 simple seeds, flaxseed, psyllium, chia, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, sunflower seeds, and black sesame are among the most powerful tools available to you. They work because they feed the bacteria your gut needs, strengthen the lining your body depends on, and reduce the inflammation that makes digestion miserable. The research is clear, the approach is affordable, and starting is as simple as adding 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed to your breakfast tomorrow morning. Now I have 3 ways you can engage with this video right now, and each one takes about 10 seconds. Comment the word seeds if you're going to give this protocol a try. Comment your current biggest digestive symptom if you want me to make a more focused video on that specific issue. Or comment sharing if you know someone who's been struggling with gut issues and you're going to send them this video. Your comments genuinely shape what I create next, and every comment helps this information reach more seniors who need it. If this kind of evidence-based, practical health information is useful to you, please subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. In my next video, I'm going to reveal the 5 things that are quietly destroying your gut microbiome every single day. Some of them are so common that most seniors are doing at least 3 of them without realizing it. It's information that will change the way you think about everyday habits. This is Dr. James, and thank you for spending this time with me. Your health matters, and you deserve clear, honest information to make the best decisions for your body.